Do you have something in mind that needs an explanation? Well, we all have. Every human being asks questions and seek explanations, and usually, the questions we ask go far beyond our immediate practical concerns. And this insatiable human curiosity is actually quite puzzling. I was once heard this statement: the quality of our lives depends on questions we ask. What do you think? Is it really true? Comment down below if what's your idea about this. We ask questions because information exists. This seems self-evident, but it cannot possibly be. If everything that exists is merely everything that exists, then nothing can be known by that mass of stuff about itself, because information requires formations that can be identified. Such things have limits. However, there are some seemingly unanswerable questions that neither science nor religion can offer a reasonable answer to. With this in mind, I'll start with a rather unusual question. But before that, if it's your first time to watch this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for you to be updated always to our new video uploads.
Number 1.
Why is there an exemption to every rule? Why is it that all of our rules, theories, maxims, and models all have an exemption? This is precisely the way the world works, except when it doesn't. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have any exemptions, or would we? On the surface, this seems like a rather corny question, and if you ask the average person on the street, most will simply smile, shrug, and move on. But in a world where scientists have spent countless billions to research and understand such topics as relationships between matter, energy, particles, and waves, everything has to make sense, except it doesn't. Even with our basic understanding of math, 2 plus 2 does not always equal 4. It depends on what type of measurement scale you are using. There are 4 types of measurement scales: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Only in the last 2 categories does 2 plus 2 equals 4. So, why do exemptions matter? Exemptions matter because nothing comes with 100% predictability. For this reason, there's no such thing as absolute certainty, except our certainty that nothing is certain. Maybe.
Number 2.
Why do logic and reason fail to explain that which is true? In many scientific circles, the only truths are those that can be explained with logic and reason. Religious people use a different metric, but they too have a way of calibrating the truths with logic and reason. So, why are logic and reason such miserable tools for explaining the world around us? It's as if the world around us was perfect, and then someone divided it by 0. Everything perfect has a touch of that one secret ingredient known as chaos. Is there more perfect than chaos? Or is chaos just a higher form of order? How will we ever know if we can explain it with logic and reason?
Number 3.
Is the universe finite or infinite? If we were able to travel to the outer edges of the universe, what would we find? Perhaps we would run smack dab into another universe, but how would we know? Would the other universe somehow come in a different color, operate with a different set of rules, or smell slightly like almonds? How would we know? I'm imagining a large sign that says, "You have reached the end of Universe A. Welcome to the Universe B, where proximity is not an issue."
And now for number 4.
Why does anything exist? Before there was something, there's nothing. And out of nothing, how did we get something? What existed before creation and before God? Yes, it becomes very confusing when we throw theories about other dimensions and non-linear time, but all of these theories fail to answer this most fundamental of all questions. Why does anything exist? We know things exist, but why?
Number 5.
Why does time exist? Time is the sound of a metronome ticking in our heads, the beat of our heart, the blinking lids on our eyes, the mental waves in our brains, and all the circadian cycles that govern our lives. Much like fish that can't understand water because they're in it all the time, we have a very poor grasp of our most immersive of all substances, and that's the time. Each of us thinks about time differently. To some, it is a tool to be leveraged. To others, a setting of the sun, a theory of physics, a philosophy to be debated, the hands of a clock, a lengthening of a shadow, or the grains of sand dropping in an hourglass. And yet, every truth we have about the existence of time comes with a counterbalancing exemption to the rule. Albert Einstein commented that the only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. What Einstein may have been alluding to this is the existence of other dimensions outside of those governed by time. But whenever he made that comment, it always ended with a smile, the universal sign for no further explanation will be coming forth.
Number 6.
Why do humans matter? We are born as a baby, struggle our entire life with everything from finding food to eat, homes to live in, educating ourselves to gain more understanding, staying healthy, making friends and relationships, raising a family, earning a living, and then we die. If we have more accomplishments in life, like earn more money, have more friends, raise a bigger family, and somehow do everything better than anyone else, we will still eventually die, right? In a world teeming with 7.8 billion different life forms, how do humans fit in? Every past civilization, with their man-made structures, machines, systems, and cultures, has eventually succumbed to Mother Nature. Plants, animals, bacteria, and fungi methodically remove every trace of what we leave behind. Why are humans important? Does the fact that we can ask questions like this, ponder the unponderable, think the unthinkable, and accomplish things that no other species can accomplish, somehow give us a higher purpose? Are humans destined to become the guardians, caretakers, and eventually the masters of the universe? If so, then we have to ask.
And now for number 7.
Why are humans so fallible? Humans are the mystery behind every hidden agenda and the unsharpened instrument whenever a precision tool is called for. We are both our greatest heroes and our most feared enemies. We are praised for our accomplishments and being criticized for our own failures. Of all species on Earth, humans are the least predictable, most destructive, require the longest nurturing period, and consume the most food. At the same time, we are also the most curious, the most aware, the most innovative, and most likely to waste countless hours playing video games. Yes, we may have better developed brains than all other animals, but that doesn't explain why we are so unbelievably fallible.
Down to number 8.
Do human accomplishments have long-term meaning? If you do a research of mankind's greatest accomplishments, you come up with lists that include the building of the Great Pyramids, landing on the moon, the invention of the telephone and light bulb, amazing artworks, and the composition of countless music scores. But are those things that humans consider to be great accomplishments really significant in the bigger scheme of things? Perhaps today's human accomplishments are a stepping stone to what comes next. We live in a world driven by prerequisites. A machinist needs to understand a single point plot operation before he or she can advance to a multi-axial milling. Engineers need to understand the concepts of mechanical stress and strain before they start bending a cantilever beam. Metallurgists need to understand the thermodynamics before they attempt phase transformations in solids. Physicists need to understand quantum mechanics before they can understand a standard model for particle physics. And mathematicians need to understand nonlinear differential equations before they can understand strange attractors. Are all our accomplishments just stepping stones to something else that we don't know or understand yet? So, what is it that we don't currently know that we will make tomorrow happen?
Number 9.
Why is the future unknowable? While I'm well aware of the notion that a known future will strip us of our drive and motivation, understanding the consequences still doesn't explain why the future is not knowable. I like to think of the future as a force so massive that the entire universe is being pulled forward in time simultaneously. We have no choice in this matter. The future will happen whether or not we agree to participate. Currently, there are no known techniques for us to speed it up, slow it down, or even try to stop it. The pace with which the future is unfolding is constant and at the same time, relentless. Will the future always remain unknowable? What do you think? Comment down below.
For the last question, number 10.
What is the purpose of death? Shortly before his death, Steve Jobs said, "No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there." And yet, death is the destination we all share. But why death? Couldn't we just dissolve into a pile of ash? Fly out of our skin? Step into an invisible elevator, pre-programmed to go to the highest of all floors? Or just mentally fade to black? People fear death. We spend millions on vitamins, health foods, fitness programs, and doctors, all to avoid the unavoidable. Or is it unavoidable? Why are we so terrified of the unknown? There you have it, folks. The 10 unanswerable questions that neither science nor religion can answer. With that, I would love to hear your thoughts. Am I asking the right questions? Or maybe you have an answer to all, or if not to some of these questions. What do you think? Here's your chance to weigh in. Comment your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more incoming CE Top Listings videos. Thank you very much for watching and God bless you always.